Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. I thought today we would have a look at a roadmap devblog, and this might be for the coolest feature of the update. Unfortunately, this wasn't really available on the dev server, but it is going to be available in the next major update. And people have been asking me, when do I think the next major update will come out? Next week, right? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday makes the most sense. It's one of those times where when you have a look at it, you know, that's where it would fit in terms of usually what they do. So that is pretty cool. So, tank reticles. This was something that they said in the roadmap that they were going to change. They were going to add more customization to. And as you can see from the video, it is fantastic. The amount of customization that they're doing is way higher than I thought it would be, but you can not just add a bunch of stuff to your site, you can move everything around, you can, fully customize everything that's there, and this is amazing. Unfortunately, this does mean that user sites are becoming kind of redundant, unless, people make specific ones, but this could also create a new genre where people create sites in-game and then kind of show people how to do it too, which would be pretty awesome. This also means that it opens it up to console players. One of the biggest issues that we have in War Thunder is parity between PC players and console players. There are a lot of things that PC players get that console players just do not get at all, and that kind of sucks. So with this change, it means everybody gets access to this, and you can see the level of customization's nuts, and also the preview is just fantastic. My guess is also when you hit the preview button, it's probably going to show you in a test drive or something how it works, which is pretty cool. But just the level of customization in this is amazing. Now, there is also another little tidbit to this. There was a Reddit post actually, which I'll leave in the description for you. It was from Alex Fox D, and this video has been switched to the one using French vehicles now. Now, I don't know how much I actually believe this, because obviously, it's the T90 for America is one of those that's been talked about for a long time. It's one of those that will eventually come to the game at some point. It's been leaked multiple times, and it was leaked exactly in this setup here, like the way that it's is. So it could easily just be a Photoshop job, but at the same time, it does seem a little bit weird using France when it comes to the video. But yeah, we'll see what goes on. If the T90 comes to America, I feel like there'll be quite a lot of angry people, but at the same time, it will at least be quite fun. So yeah, we'll see what goes on with that. The tank reticle stuff, though, is just amazing. In War Thunder, the biggest changes that have happened to it over the last few years have been UI stuff, right? And one of the things that I think is very important in general games is to be able to tailor the experience to what you want. So instead of tailoring it to a kind of hope or a feeling that somebody has, if you can completely customize everything, then there cannot be a excuse for not liking what you see, right? And with the sites, you can pretty much fully customize everything now. You have obviously the base stuff that you can change, but then you can add everything else to it. You can tailor everything to what you want, which is just amazing to see. And I hope other areas of the game also kind of follow suit. Maybe when it comes to aimers in aircraft, you could have this level of functionality too. Maybe even in naval, with the way that they set everything up too. But right now, since this is coming to ground, this is easily the best feature of the update. And one of the things that's super important to me is it's really interesting looking at individual vehicles, right? Because sometimes individual vehicles will give like new play styles, or they'll give like different ways of playing. But the most important parts of an update are things that actually affect multiple different things. So, for example, if we have a look at like this change here, one of the most important things is this is going to be for all of your tanks, right? So every single tank you use will use either this site or a different site, right? When it comes to a specific vehicle, it's only going to affect that nation, that be our range, and that's it. That's why map changes are so important as well, because they affect a variety of nations and also a variety of BRs. And that is why stuff like Eastern Europe is so important compared to, I don't know, like the Antelope or some similar vehicle. So to see these types of changes and to see them come in is really nice. And the fact that they've added all of the UI customization in the hangar, the fact that they've added, you know, so much other stuff. And even if you actually have a look at the roadmap, there's still more things to come before they finish off this update. We'll have to see if it actually happens, though, because a lot of it wasn't on the dev server. The nation bonuses stuff was super nice to see, though. Hopefully they can bring that in too, and then we can kind of go from there. And I'm also looking forward to the weird presets that people have in terms of these sites as well. But you can see how it's going to work. You can customize the grid site, the rangefinder indicator, to rotation indicator, site of field indicator, and also shot readiness indicator. And then also I'm hoping that what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to share your creations with other people. So therefore, you know, other people can also see what you've created. Another thing that I think is also important, though, is we need to take this idea and apply it also to other parts of the game. As we talked about aviation and naval, but also more customization overall in general. So we obviously have camos. I don't know how you would make it so you could create camos in the game. You'd have to create like a whole new system, but then again, they've done that with this. Stuff such as, you know, the audio of the game would be cool if you could kind of customize it in game. What I mean by this is, you know how we have like all of those new voice lines? What if every event, or what if every battle pass, or what if everything similar to that had access to like 1 or 2 voice lines, which are either some of the old ones, or maybe some new ones which are relevant to that event or that battle pass. So therefore you could kind of mix and match what you hear in the game through some kind of like wheel which is there. So you could like chop in old stuff like Mr. Moon, for example, or you could move around stuff that you wanted. And I think for me, that would be really cool if that was a part of the game. The other thing is volume. So this is kind of my big crusade now, because, right, I understand that in general, when it comes to War Thunder, most people only maybe play 1 or 2 game modes. For me, I play naval, I play ground, I play air. I try and play as much as I can of the game, because that to me is the most important, just trying a bunch of different stuff and, you know, going ahead and having a bit of fun. The major problem that I have is when I play naval specifically, but this also happens in air, my volume is all over the place because it's more tooled for ground. So I would love to have presets for volume. I would love to have a naval preset, I'd love to have a air preset, and I'd love to have a ground preset. So therefore, whenever I'm playing the different modes, I can change the volumes that I'm using, because unfortunately right now, if I use like my standard ground volume for naval, I end up getting headaches after 5 minutes after hearing all of the shells go all over the place. So for me, it's super important to be able to eventually get that in and eventually work that in. And it's something that I'm going to keep advocating for. And I also want to say to you guys, if there is anything that you specifically are interested in, or you specifically want to see, no matter how minor it is, let me know, so I can at least try and pass it on, or maybe, you know, have chats about it, or see what goes on. Because a lot of these suggestions, which you're seeing in the roadmap, which you're seeing in game right now, are from community members. They are from people who really enjoy the game and putting stuff forward. You know, the devs, the community managers, everything are listening. They always have, by the way. But now you are seeing full implementation of ideas, which is really cool. So this is that time. This is the time, if you want to see new stuff, let people know. So, you know, it can get thrown into the game. But as always, I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank GMG Smiley, CD Beans, Chieftain Mike, EMN3 Galaxy, Tulio Pontecorvo, Brendan Quinn, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Wartinder, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young,
Aussie Panzer, Alan Hacker, Liam Shear, Opium Prime, Lafouche, Sem, Aslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R. for supporting the channel.